I wanted my home to reflect all the beautiful Pinterest boards boasting their rustic kitchens, woven wall decorations, and all other whimsical details. I drew inspiration from various historical sites found throughout my town. This would be the first time I would renovate with intentionality. I planned out the colorways, materials, and design. The end result would mix Western, African, and American Indian art as reflective of me and my husband's ancestry. I also wanted a wardrobe with gorgeous dresses and skirts all made with natural fibers and vintage notions. But this wasn't just about the look. I wanted to make everything. I already knew how to knit and crochet, but I also picked up sewing and even some basic carpentry and masonry skills. Renovations are exhausting. My cousin and I spent an entire month renovating my house to fit the aesthetic I was going for. What I thought would take a week or two actually ended up taking 4 weeks. But I regret nothing. No home comes perfect. To get that cottagecore home, I had to balance time with money and style. Luckily for me, my husband couldn't care less what the house looks like, so long as the roof doesn't leak or the walls aren't orange. So I was excited to have our home reflect something homey with countryside elements. It was 6 years since we moved into this house, so a makeover was long overdue. We pretty much repainted the entire house, cut our own brick and tile for the new facings and floors, and we also put in some new fixtures. To make sure that my color scheme made sense, I sewed all new curtains and pillow covers using the paisley patterned cotton canvas. I also made a patchwork throw quilt to add color to our otherwise super brown couch, and I even found the perfect area rug to match the teal, burgundy, and cream color scheme. As a side note, I saved my money for about 4 years to be able to afford all the renovations that I wanted. I do not recommend anyone blow a ton of money in this economy to hire a contracting company. Research DIY tutorials, get professional help from specialists when necessary, and do not overspend when there are perfectly reasonable substitutions for materials. I did not go into debt to do this, so if you're interested in having your own beautiful space, please understand that it is work that takes time, patience, and planning. You can absolutely do it, you just have to change your approach and see this as a lifestyle as opposed to a trend. I'm also very thankful that we already have a lot of antique furniture thanks to my grandmother. When she passed away, I inherited her Jacobean Revival dining room set and a few other pieces that really help pull the look together. We don't plan on buying any new furniture anytime soon, and we probably won't ever have a new dining room set. So what's cottagecore without the quintessential cottagecore dress? I sewed this particular cottagecore dress by hand before I owned a sewing machine. I used a beautiful cotton fabric that fits both the summer and the fall. I actually love how this one turned out. It's eye-catching, colorful, and flattering. That said, it turns out that pinafores, Peter Pan collars, and milkmaid dresses with corsets are just not my style. I think they're absolutely stunning, but I have a very curvy build, pretty large arms, and a muscular broad back, so traditional hyper-girlish elements don't make me feel very comfortable. I feel a lot more comfortable in empire waist or A-line dresses with low-cut necklines. A little bit of homemade sewing and experimenting showed me that I prefer grungy, goblin-y, witchy aesthetics, as opposed to whimsical, fairy tale-like cottagecore aesthetics. But I did fall in love with history bounding. It is so much fun incorporating reproduction fabric and accessories into my modern clothes. The main takeaway from this experiment was discovering my sense of style, and this goes for both my wardrobe and interior design choices. I am over the moon with how my new living space looks. Like for many people right now in the States, housing is just criminally expensive, and my husband and I are stuck here until further notice. So why not make the house super comfortable? I stuck with a specific color palette and an aesthetic I know I won't want to change for a long time. And I'm excited to see not just my living room, but my entire house reflect the mood I've always wanted. There are of course many design elements I would have loved to have added to my home, but things are rightfully expensive and it takes years to collect beautiful, functioning items. My beautifully bound classical literature, art books, and other such interesting items have been collected or created over time, and I've learned that it's quite okay to take a long time to create things, because if I didn't take the time, I wouldn't have the beautiful results I have today. Even though cottagecore dresses aren't really for me, I still love antique and vintage style elements. Instead of wearing cottagecore dresses, I found solace in history bounding. For example, I love to wear skinny jeans, but I pair them with my Victorian reproduction shoes. I've also gotten into using more natural fabrics such as linen, cotton, and wool. I honestly couldn't have asked for better results. I am super pleased with how everything turned out.